For as long as we can remember, the world has always sought ways to tackle poverty and inequality in society. Statistics suggest that nearly half the world's population, more than 3 billion people, live on less than $2.50 a day, and 1.3 billion people live in extreme poverty. To address the many challenges posed by poverty, world leaders at a historic UN summit on January 1, 2016 adopted 17 Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) with the aim of ending all forms of poverty by 2030. These goals included eradicating poverty in all its forms, ensuring healthy lives and well-being for all, ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education for all, ensuring availability of water for all, and ensuring access to affordable, reliable and modern energy for all, amongst others. Many UN member states made commitments to mobilize efforts over the next 15 years to achieve these goals in their respective countries, and among the member nations that made this pledge was Nigeria. With a population of over 180 million people, Nigeria is Africa's most populous nation. However, a significant number of Nigerians live below the poverty line. This is a challenge that successive governments have tried to address. After the January 2016 UN resolution, the federal government of Nigeria set up a special project unit under the office of the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Works and Housing, with a direct mandate to oversee the implementation of key SDG goals that had the potential of making a real difference in the lives of the poor and underserved communities across Nigeria.
The SPU is principally an omnibus department established to implement the SDG programs and projects, and then the constituency and zonal intervention projects. We have a lot of projects cutting across all sectors of the economy, social, economic, and environmental projects, and even poverty alleviation programs that are meant to address the development need of communities and the society in general. Basically, it is a shift in the process of getting to the common man. The federal government has deemed it fit to intervene in critical sectors of the communities, and this is the way to go. Otherwise, if you just focus on the big projects to the detriment of the smaller ones, then the communities will not have much to know about what the government is doing.
Of the 17 SDGs, the Special Project Unit of the Ministry of Works and Housing focused on 8, which cut across several sectors. The first goal under the Sustainable Development Goals, which is eradicating poverty in all its forms, has been a key area of focus for the Special Project Unit of the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. One of the ways through which the SPU has worked towards achieving this goal has been through the construction of skill acquisition centers in different communities spread across the Federation. These centers are designed to keep youths actively engaged as they acquire new skills to lead a more productive life.
Before their arrival, the youth have not been really engaged in such a thing that can improve their life. But with this skill acquisition, we see that it's bringing a change of orientation. Such the youth can now look forward that there is a place I can learn certain skill that can improve my life. So we believe it's going to impact a good knowledge on the youth of this community.
To date, 50 skill acquisition centers have been constructed across the country, empowering youths and communities to lead more productive lives. Apart from the different economic impact of skills acquisition in the lives of the beneficiaries, the Special Project Unit has also made indirect impact in the lives of thousands of Nigerians through the execution of various SDG projects across the country, which has generated employment for artisans and food vendors and income for material suppliers. As a result of increased infant and maternal mortality in Nigeria, access to safe and affordable medical health facilities has been cited as one of the key measures to put in place if the country must achieve Goal 3 of the Sustainable Development Goals. To this end, the SPU has constructed and renovated 80 hospitals and primary healthcare centers across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. In communities like Ifedayo in Osun State and Dawakinkudu in Kano State, these interventions in the health sectors have made significant impact in the lives of the rural dwellers.
Kafin a gina mana wannan guri muna fama da karancin muna kai kukan mu gurin dan majalisa cewa ba mu da isasshen gadajen haihuwa zuwa zamu rago wasu marasa lafiyar mu da suna mu ci gaba da karɓar haihuwa a gurin. Gaskiya gurin yana taimakon mu sosai kwarai da gaske, ya ba mu dama mu yi ayyukan mu cikin jin daɗi ba tare da muna samun na ƙasa a gurin aikin ba.
We can now provide services like laboratory services that we were not providing before. We used to ask some patients to go and do some investigations outside this hospital, but now we can now render such services. Since this intervention, we have started seeing improvements in the quality of care in terms of service delivery to the patients.
Based on statistics, the mortality rate of childbirth is really on the high side, especially in the northern Nigeria. If we have an effective and efficient primary healthcare system, all those things can be treated at the primary healthcare. All the things that they need, we provide it. Even those that they don't need, we provide it for them. This thing has a very significant impact. It reduces the issue of, having, infection, especially if it's not done properly, and also reduce the congestion of going from rural to urban place to seek for medical assistance.
In a laboratory within a secondary school in the town of Dawakinkudu, a group of students are having an engaging session learning biology. To the casual observer, the excitement of the students can simply be explained away as plain student enthusiasm, but it's more than that. This is a brand new lab, and these students have never experienced this before. In fact, this is a brand new school. Before this time, this was all barren land. But with the intervention of the Special Projects Unit, a school was built from scratch so that students could have access to a proper learning facility.
We used to have theories on these computers and maybe in our laboratories, but now all that is taught in their theory classes, they come one-on-one with it physically and touch it and feel it where necessary in either their science laboratories or in the computer laboratories.
Honestly, daga farko ko in ce challenges ko damuwa da muke da shi akan ko in ce sun yi yawa a guri makaranta, babu wani gurin da za a kai su. So Allah cikin ikonsa kuma shi mai girma dan majalisar tarayya Alhaji Mustapha Baladawaki ya zo mana da wannan makaranta, shine sai muka ɗauko yaran da suke can dama sun, don haka mu a nan dai karkarar yaranmu sai dai mu ce mun gode ko kuma mai murna da wannan nature na gurin. Duk yana taimakawa wajen yaro ya koyi abu, yaro zai zama productive to the society.
We are sort of classrooms so much, and some of our classrooms then were even dilapidated ones that are not okay. At least we do not have more than 3 blocks of classroom then, and more than that. We appreciate God for this kind of project and this right time intervention, because in the number of the pupils in the school has increased greatly, even almost ×2.
The interventions of the Special Projects Unit in Education are part of the ministry's drive to achieve Goal 4 of the Sustainable Development Goals, which is ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education for all. In pursuing the actualization of this goal, schools have been built across the country, from Imo to Bauchi to Abia, Bayelsa and beyond.
When we are convenient, that is only when they can teach us and we can assimilate what they're teaching us and retain it better than when there is no classroom, and our health status is even better with the toilet.
Many students find it difficult to learn maths during afternoon time because of the heat. I feel that they can learn better because when there is fan and there is a good window and a good blackboard, ventilation will be coming, and when they are teaching, you'll be getting it more clear.
Now that government has provided all these things for us, there will be enhanced effective teaching and learning. And pupils, they will relax and be comfortable. Their handwriting before was so odd, but now since they can now balance and write very well, I can even mark their books without using my spectacle.
Over 850 blocks of classrooms have been constructed across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. In some cases, the intervention has even gone beyond building schools and classrooms. In Oyo State, a public computer center has been built in the town of Ogbomosho, and today, members of the community come from far and near to access computer learning.
They established this place to render computer services. So talking of the internet facilities as well as for the computer training for the able or the willing minds that want to have computer training, and to also render computer commercial services.
In Namakanwo community, Abia State, villagers used to trek for miles to a stream to get water.
Before this time no get borehole, they get water from stream. How many years now we have not get like borehole in our side? It's only from stream.
But that story has changed.
At least since this water has been here, everybody is benefiting from it. You see students coming back from school, they will stop, drink water. It's good.
You know that water is life. And if you have a problem with source of water, and you now talk about all these waterborne diseases, you can no longer see anybody complaining of diarrhea in this community because of the presence of this water.
The story is the same in Odotin local government area, Osun State, Ihuebubo in Anambra State, and other communities across the nation. All have been provided with either solar-powered or hand-pump boreholes, and to date, more than 1,060 boreholes have been sunk by the SPU all across the country.
Before, the first situation of the community was so bad. We have no water here, nothing. The time this water never reach here, we go to Benin and fetch water. Even at times we go to nearby community to buy water. This water, it doesn't help many people. Even other community now, they used to come here to fetch. Even people that pass, they used to wait here and fetch the water here.
When you can't provide water, there can be sanitation, there can be a good habitat. And so therefore, the Ministry of Housing, which the department operates in, is principally part of the mandate of the ministry to provide shelter, provide decent living and decent communities. And of course, you can't have a clean and decent communities if you can't have good source of drinking water. The whole idea behind having potable water is quite obvious. There can never be development where the community and the people go to the streams to fetch water with the attendant hazards and waterborne diseases. So I think this is a shining example of what the SPU has done, in addition to other projects that involve classroom construction, maternity centers, health centers, skill acquisition centers all over the Federation.
Access to clean and affordable energy remains one of the catalysts for growth and development, and it is Goal 7 of the Sustainable Development Goals. As part of ensuring increased access to clean, reliable and affordable energy, the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, through its Special Projects Unit, has installed transformers in towns and villages across Nigeria. And as a result of this intervention, owners of small businesses in the rural communities are able to sell more and save more due to less dependence on fuel generators.
Gaskiya ina sai a takaice da kawai na 1,500 ka kawo mana transfer kuma alhamdulillah muna jin daɗi enough yadda yake mana bukata daidan gwargwado.
Da muna nan karfe 4 ma ana koran mu zuwa gida, amma yanzu muna nan har karfe 10 kuma wutan an kawo tun safe har za mu barta ta kwana sai mu kwana 2-3. Da badan muna samun abin da za mu ci da mu da iyalanmu ba matsalar wuta.
Apart from the installation of transformers, the SPU has also ensured that schools, hospitals and communities are provided with solar-powered street lights.
Àti òsì títì ń bẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ ó rí gbàgbọ́gbàgún. Ṣùgbọ́n gbà tí wọ́n ti ṣe títì gbogbo ẹ̀ fine. Tí wọ́n tún ṣe solar gbogbo ẹ̀ wá fine.
Under Goals 9, 11 and 17, the Special Projects Unit of the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing has overseen the execution of scores of SDG projects as well as constituency and zonal projects that are targeted at making a difference in the lives of Nigerians. Roads have been constructed in previously inaccessible areas. Motor parks, market stalls and community centers have been built in towns and villages. Primary and secondary schools have been renovated and universities have received infrastructural support. The federal Dutse is a shining example of the SPU's intervention in tertiary institutions across the country. Prior to this time, the school's road network was in very poor condition. But with the intervention, the school community is experiencing a new lease of life.
When it's raining and then you think about how the road is going to be, if you want to go for a lecture, it will discourage you. But now that there is drainage system which will drain the water and then the road networks has been corrected, so I think it's going to be easier for somebody to go for lectures.
The Minister of Works has really come to identify with institutions and he's helping to improve the infrastructure in the institutions. If certain infrastructure and facilities are provided, it means the whole Nigerian youth are benefiting from it. So therefore, I think it is a very good work that the minister is doing.
From the provision of hospitals, schools, roads, power, water and other basic infrastructure, the federal government of Nigeria is hard at work, making a difference in the lives of Nigerians.
Now, let us take this borehole for instance. You can see it is serving the whole of this community. And you can see the children, you can see the women who always and almost every day rely on this as a source of clean drinking water. The multiplier effect on the community in general, it saves them money for other uses. So as long as you cannot save, you cannot invest. If you cannot invest, you cannot develop. So the cycle goes like this, and over time, the cascading effect of this project will bring to bear on the community in general. So going forward, I can assure you, we will still continue to do more.
Poverty, they say, is not natural. It is man-made, and it can be overcome and eradicated by the actions of human beings. Overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It is an act of justice, the protection of fundamental human rights, and the right to dignity and a decent life.
The background to the Special Projects Unit is partly the commitments that we made on the international scene under the Sustainable Development Goals to access, support, protect, provide for weak and vulnerable members of the society, the people at the bottom of the pyramid. We all have different roles to play to make this vision achievable, as I believe it is.
With leadership and sense of purpose, we can lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years.
And if Nigeria must take a place among the Committee of Nations as a leading light on the continent, it must ensure that we continuously work towards ensuring inclusivity and all forms of poverty, fight inequalities, while ensuring that no one is left behind.